How is everybody doing? Season 13 of Married at First Sight Houston is finally here. We've had a couple weeks lead in with specials and we're not even to the start of the season and they're already dragging things out. And to my surprise, tonight was a 3-hour episode. I really struggled to get into the show this evening. I struggled to connect with the couples, and I'm interested to see if anyone else is feeling the same way as me. When everything is so stretched out, I found myself, drifting to my phone, drifting back to my phone. I'd watch something a little bit interesting and then it would get boring and drift back to my phone. And, the real drag out to just get one wedding at the end of the 3 hours is pretty frustrating to watch. I really just want to get into the couples. I want to see them together. I want to see how things go. I don't really need 3 hours to get to know them after a matchmaking special and another special with the experts. Like, get me into the season already. All right, with my little rant out of the way, let's actually get into a little bit of our couples, our first impressions, and maybe we'll throw out some predictions. I think that I'm a little more negative after tonight than I was before, but I still think that we're going to end up with some marriages out of this season. So we might as well start off with Johnny and Bao. They were our only wedding tonight. They also knew each other, which is another twist. When that happened, what was that, 2 seasons ago in New Orleans with I can picture them and I can't. Amelia and Bennett. There we go. When it happened with Amelia and Bennett, it was like an oh my god moment, and then it happened with Johnny and Bao. Especially since they blatantly spoiled it on previews already with Bao going, oh my god, it's Johnny. It just didn't have that surprise factor like it did back in New Orleans. Still, I thought it was a pretty pleasant outcome with those two, especially with everything leading up to the actual wedding. I don't understand where those gifts came from for Johnny. Like, did I miss something with Johnny? I felt we just kept hearing Johnny talk about, oh, I'm so neat and clean. I want someone who's clean. I hope that I'm with somebody a little nerdy, a little quirky. And then he sends his gift over to Bao. The first impression that she is going to have of him, presuming that they hadn't met previously, and he sends over home and away. I think they were Texans jerseys. Maybe I'm incorrect there, but through the blur out, I figured they were Texan jerseys. So why? Like, where did that come from? Like, did I totally miss that whole part of Johnny? Did I miss that whole backstory of Johnny about how he was a sports fanatic? It caught me by surprise just as much as it did Bao. Still, there was all that tension leading into the wedding, and I think when they actually got together at the end of the aisle, both realized that they knew each other, and their previous connection seemed like a positive one. It really helped to change some of that negativity that they had leading into the marriage into some positivity, and I'm always a strong proponent of starting these relationships on a positive note. They started here with that positivity, and that will at least carry into the first portion of the marriage. I also thought it was a cute moment when they were both talking about the tea ceremony, and Johnny was asking basically permission to host a tea ceremony, and Bao's like, really? Did you really ask for that? Because I demanded a tea ceremony. I thought it was a really great moment and something that I'm looking forward to seeing next episode. One other little negative thing that I saw here was the moment where Johnny phoned his dad. I really felt for Johnny. What a terrible moment to have to experience. And even though Johnny knew it was coming, knew that it was the most likely outcome, still very hard to watch. How do I feel about this couple? You know, I'm going to call this couple as a marriage at the end. I think they both want it. They very much want it. And, you know, I don't feel like they're, hey, let's see what happens kind of people. Like, I feel like they are both, I want this as the next chapter of my life. Even though, you know, we saw maybe a few red flags from Bao, on just how picky and everything that she was looking for, expecting the perfect man. I think that she's going to be happy in this relationship. She already seems happy right out of the gate, and I love that positivity. So I am going to call this as a good couple for this season. All right, let's jump over to the next couple, Myrla and Gil. You know, I don't have a ton to say about this couple, but I got the impression that they're both going to be fairly hard to please. You know, you have Gil, they kind of sold him almost as a womanizer, sexy firefighter who has no trouble with the ladies, who's all of a sudden just settling down. Myrla as, you know, someone who's really focused on herself, has very high expectations for her partner. You know, she really gave me the impression that if she starts to walk down the aisle and the man at the end isn't attractive, that she might just turn around and leave. The other red flag, which was also brought up on the one of the season previews, was, you know, she's borderline an Instagram model. You know, worked real hard on her body, has pictures of herself displayed all over her house. That could be an issue for Gil, because he was very much against wanting that in his life. Right now I'm on the fence with this couple. I would like to give a thumbs up, but I just don't have that confidence in them yet. So I'm going to say they do not make it. Let's jump over to Zach and Michaela. This is a couple that I am positive about. Michaela has to be immediately everyone's favorite person of the season. She just seems like a very vibrant, fun person to be around, that you are instantly just rooting for her. And I will 100% be hoping that things work out just for her sake. One moment I really did not like was Zach talking with his family. You know, I always hate that negativity that sometimes people get when they say, like, hey, I'm getting married in 2 weeks. And the one line really struck me, and that was Zach's mom saying, I don't want any random girl for my son. You know, that would just be so hard to hear. And really, that's like, Zach's taking a major leap of faith. Everyone on this show is taking a major leap of faith, and to get struck with so much negativity, that has to just really shake you heading into the wedding, heading into the marriage. That can't be a good thing. You know, he's already struggling with this situation. A little bit of positivity and some support from the family would have been great to see, but unfortunately we really did not see that for Zach. Still, I really just want this couple to work. I just think Zach himself seems like a very nice guy. Michaela just seems amazing, and I just want to see them work. So I'm going to say that this is a couple that makes it this season. Two more couples to jump into here. The first one being Ryan and Brett. You know, I was getting a little bit of Brett and Olivia vibes with this couple. I really hope it doesn't go down that road. Ryan seemed a little more open with his emotions than what we saw from Brett, a guy who, he was just terrible. Let's just say that he was just terrible. And just to clarify, I'm talking about Brett from season 11, not Brett from season 13. You know, Ryan, he's the serial dater. And I just don't know if that works for this show. I think that you really have to change your mindset from dating to relationship. And for someone who sounds like has just been in that dating phase for so long, to just flip the switch is going to be very difficult. That's not to say that Ryan can't do this, but you know, does immediately raise doubts as a viewer. I really like Brett as a person. She seems very interesting to me. Someone who just really wants to find love, and that's what we want to see on this show. We want to see people who want a love story. We want to watch a love story. Maybe we want a little bit of drama mixed in there too, but ultimately we want to see successful couples. We want to be happy with those couples at the end of the day, and I really hope that we do see that here. But I just don't have the confidence in Ryan to be that man for Brett. One thing I really did like about this couple was seeing the positivity that we saw from the friends and family. You know, maybe it wasn't perfect, but I just think that having that support around you, jumping into a situation like this has to be just incredible for your confidence, for your anxiety, and just to start the relationship off on the right foot. And hopefully that will propel Ryan and Brett off to a good start. I'm still iffy. I'm not going to say either way whether I think this couple is going to make it or not. I'm going to say give them a maybe, but at least we have that positivity to kick things off into next week. Our last couple, this has to be everybody's least favorite couple right out of the gate, and that's Rachel and Jose. This just seems like just a bad couple. This is just a bad match. Like in one of the previews, it seemed, or the specials, pardon me, it seemed like they were matched just because they both liked, I think it was baseball. They both liked the Houston Astros. So the matchmakers are just like, sounds good. That's like going back to a couple I already mentioned, Brett and Olivia. It was like, oh, you guys both like cats? Well, we'll put you together. We'll call you a couple. There's got to be more substance there, and I just didn't feel that. Rachel just does not seem like she's going to fit into Jose's life. And Jose does not seem like the person who is big on compromises. You know, he had his laundry lists of demands for what he was looking for, and I just don't feel like anyone on the planet is going to meet those expectations. Out of our group of guys, we ended up with 4 guys who are 35 years old. And while that doesn't mean that you're never going to find love, that's an immediate, a little bit of a red flag. You know, I personally was a sufferer from that same syndrome. I was into my 30s before I settled down, but that doesn't mean you can't get there, but it is concerning. You know, 35, never married, you know, in some cases seem like never been in love, makes it difficult to really have extreme optimism for all these couples, especially Jose and Rachel. So this is my couple. This is my definite no for the season. I just can't see them working out. It's just bad matchmaking. Just absolutely bad matchmaking. All right, I'm gonna wrap things up there. Excited to get into the season, see all of our weddings, get started on our honeymoon. I really want to get to that point so we can actually see how these couples start interacting, what their journey looks like. I think it's going to be a very interesting season. We've got some couples that are already intriguing to me. Johnny and Bao are definitely intriguing. You know, Zach and Michaela, I'm very positive for them. I think that we could get a little bit of drama out of Myrla and Gil. Ryan and Brett. I want to see, can that serial dater actually reform his ways? And then Jose and Rachel, we're just here to watch the divorce unfold over the next 10, 12 weeks, however long the season is. All right, everybody, that's where I'm going to wrap things up for this week. As always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the support on the channel so very much. So thank you again, and until next time, we'll see you later.